Hello and welcome into the Boise State Game Pants Esports Arena. We've got a jam-packed night here tonight on this Thursday, full of action and a lot of it that is going to be high stakes for Boise State. I am Michael Fisher. We're going to call 3 Overwatch games here tonight. We're going to wrap up the NECC regular season for Boise State Blue. They'll be taking on Dominguez Hill in our first game of the night, and then we'll transition over to the NACE playoffs, where the Broncos are looking to qualify for the quarterfinals, both blue and orange, hoping to hold top seeds and be advanced to the next round. We joined by Jared Baratel Castiglione to call all of the Overwatch action, and it is going to be very jam-packed, Baratel, because it is NACE playoff season here in about an hour or so, and that's when everything really starts to ramp up.
Let's go, Fish. It's time. We're here. We waited this entire season, and it's time for all these teams, all the hard work that they've been doing, all the scrims amongst all their classes to kind of come to fruition, and I can't be more excited.
Going to be interesting. We did get a last-second patch right before the playoffs kicked off. Totally flipped the Overwatch meta. We're back to double shield. McCree has seen his spot in the limelight as well, which Boise State Blue has fully adapted to already. We saw that in their round 1 win. Boise State Orange, little bit iffy there. They were challenged a lot by Kansas and sort of stuck back with that Sombra from time to time. So I'll be curious to see how quickly they do adapt that. But right now, the Gravitic Flux from Sigma is all of the rage. So we're going to be curious to see how that rears its head. As we mentioned, we'll kick things off with the NECC, 17 schools in a round-robin record seeds playoffs. Boise State right now has one of the best records in the tournament. The Blue Squad sitting at a perfect 7-0, and right now going to play their very last game against Dominguez Hill to see if they can wrap this off, much like they did in NACE, the Blue Squad being undefeated. It is going to be 3 maps regardless of the score. This is not a best of. This is a total map sum. So we will play 3 maps. We're going to go Escort, Hybrid, and Control, Baratel. And for Boise State Blue, I'm expecting them to have a nice little warm-up game against Dominguez Hill here. The Toros, unfortunately, not having a great NEC season, so this will be a nice warm-up for their NACE action later tonight.
Yeah, you got to get warmed up somehow, and why not put it against a school that is definitely up and coming? Dominguez Hill doing a phenomenal job kind of giving themselves a lot of notoriety within the scene, and it's going to be a really fun warm-up game, although I don't think that Boise State is going to pull any punches. They're going to go full throttle with this first warm-up.
Yeah, Boise State Blue has only dropped 1 map this entire NECC tournament, so they are absolutely on fire. So they will be curious to see how they want to continue once we got Doc's keys to the game, which of course could just be as simple as play like you've been playing, because that's exactly what Boise State's been doing. They adapted flawlessly to the new meta. I mean, at this point, we really don't need keys. It's just, hey, do your thing, and you're probably going to come out with at least a 2-1 victory, but I'd have to think 3-0 might be more likely for Boise State Blue.
If it's not broken, there's nothing to fix. But I think the biggest thing that we always like to highlight is Boise State's adaptability, right?
Yep.
When push comes to shove, especially in the face of these new emerging metas, they are either A, on the cusp of making those adaptations to change to what's the most effective tactic at a time. That's what meta stands for those that don't know. Or they're the first ones to adjust to overcome whatever their adversaries bring to the table.
Yeah, they have been incredibly prepared. They've even been able to bring out some of their more flexy picks. I know we've seen a lot of Torbjorn from Goblin, something he is very, very strong
That's
on.
Route 66, I think.
Yeah, it is Route 66, and then Numbani, and then we'll go on to the Control. Yeah, as I said, this is just the best of, not a best of 3. This is a 3-map totality. So we will play all 3 maps. Doesn't matter the score after the first 2. This is more of a tournament based on map score than overall record. It's a big contributing factor. So I'll be really, really curious to see how Boise State handles it and if they're ready for it, because it is a little bit different. Every tournament changes, so we're actually going to Escort first, not Control. So I'll be curious to see if Boise State's ready to go and how this meta works on Escort here in the NECC, because these are different schools than we've seen in NACE. As we get to Doc's keys of the game, there we go. 3 games, not a best of. Escort, Hybrid, and Control, and then the 8-week regular season. Boise State wrapping that up here, trying to go at least the Blue Squad 8-0 in NECC, and probably have a really good seed in their playoffs as well when that comes around the corner.
Yeah, and it's always kind of the typical rhyme for at least the way that this semester's kind of emerged for a lot of the Boise State squads, especially for Overwatch, putting a giant target on our head. We're essentially the #1 on the bounty board, and we like to keep it that way.
Yeah, with Boise State, of course, every time you win a game, the target on your back just gets bigger and bigger. And Boise State Blue has done a great job of handling that pressure. Not to mention Boise State Orange, who in NACE has only lost to Boise State Blue. A little bit weaker of a time in NECC. I believe they drop a game to Midland as well, who is in NACE. So there is some familiar teams. Not the case here as we kick off NECC game number 1, Boise State Blue and Dominguez Hill. And you see once again the Broncos starting to change over that double shield. Dominguez Hill, not so much, including Earthquake on the sniper there, the Widowmaker, who actually was nerfed and a lot of people thought might actually kill her viability. So we'll see how long he sticks on, now only having 175 health.
Not only that, but trying to bust through these shields is going to be really tough for this Widowmaker overall. But I do like to see the fact that both these teams are rocking a Torbjorn. That's some solid respect right there.
So you see Boise State defending. They're going to just let them come into Goblin's turrets. They do have the Nano Blade combo for Dominguez Hill maybe at some point here. We'll see how much value they can get out of that and how quickly they can have that one set up. You see Earthquake trying to snipe down there in the lower corridor. Gets found out, barely able to survive. See Death Hunter going to be the first target down. Seaweed Brain going to go down as well. Nice snipe though from Earthquake. Now he's going to get right in the face. Play-Doh going to not quite eliminate that Widowmaker. She does not know the rest of Boise State Blue is right there, so she will go down, and Boise State's going to trade that 3 for 1.
Really nice hold. Goblin completely conceding. Maybe the Torbjorn isn't going to work out, so immediately switches over to the Echo. Play-Doh doing a phenomenal job of going into that tunnel and immediately crouch spamming, keeping Earthquake off their toes so they weren't able to get the nice second two-piece headshot.
Damage on to Kel. Gonna get a nice stun there. The Mama Shiba bring the shield down for just a little bit. And now their Boise State's gonna go full in. Zero's gonna get Asu though on the back line. Kel incredibly low. Earthquake gonna take him down. Large Bagel does take down Death Hunter once again, but now Boise State's gotta start running as Dominguez Hill is taken out too. Play-Doh incredibly low, trying to retreat. And a great job there by the Toros to win that battle.
Yeah, really nice job by the DPS here from Dominguez, pushing both forward pressure with the Genji getting that backline access, putting Boise State kind of in a panic mode, and during that entire time they had no way to locate where Earthquake was, and this is kind of how they have to play this sort of comp in order to keep Boise State on their toes.
Well, Attack Visor come out there from Play-Doh, didn't get an elimination, and Guac and Goblin going to combine to take out Zero. Now the Broncos going to try and jump down on Dominguez Hill. Maybe Shiba gets taken out. Earthquake as well. They have lost Kel, so there'll be no Gravitic Flux, but Boise State doesn't care. They'll pick up a 4K and just barely hold on to that first checkpoint.
They have a lot of ultimates, and you know, despite it only being 3 to 5, I still think the quality or the value potential from Boise State's ultimates could potentially be huge because they do not have the Graviton Surge right now. They only have the Gravitic Flux here on Boise State, sure, but there's no way to keep Boise State in line for the Dragon Blade. So as long as they can keep track of this Genji, it's not going to be too crucial for them.
Supercharger came out. Boise State immediately picks 2. No ults committed there by Dominguez Hills. Maybe Shiba can't quite get away. Zero can barely escape, it looks like. And Dominguez Hill holding on to those ultimates, maybe waiting for that Graviton Surge.
They may be waiting for the Graviton Surge. Genji actually immediately popping over, gets a Dragon Blade of their own, goes for the Swift Strike, gets Anna on the backline. They are going to do what they can to completely stagger out Dominguez Hills. And I was worried for a second that Dominguez was just going to regroup, but a nice dagger from Boise State buys them a crucial amount of time.
Nice haul there. Kel trying to find a sideline for Gravitic Flux. Can't quite find it yet. We've seen the infrared sight committed. There's the Transcendence by a large Bagel and Zero taken out, so there's very limited nano targets. Maybe Mame Shiba is the choice here. There's 40 seconds left. The Toros might just be retreating, trying to get Zero back. He is respawned, and the Broncos have to wait for that Nano Blade with 30 seconds left.
We'll see what happens here. It's almost a full Monty here from Dominguez Hill. The Gravitic Flex misses and it's not going to get anything. But on the backside, the rest of the damage is going to come out. Dominguez Hills is going to pop that crucial Dragon Blade. Is it going to be enough for them to get what they need to? They do get one here on the backside, but Play-Doh will instantly take out Zero. He's getting a 0 KDA here with that ultimate. And only 10 seconds remain here for Dominguez Hills to even get the first checkpoint.
Their performance, they swapped their full mobility comp. They'll trade 1 for 1, Guac for Death Hunter, so there's not going to be a Graviton up for Dominguez Hill. Girthquake takes down Plato, so the Toro's looking to be in a good spot here as Guac hops over to the Wrecking Ball. Overtime for Dominguez Hill. They haven't even got to the first point. They find Girthquake in the back line. Goblin gets a headshot, but he will just barely survive. He's trying to hide from that Echo, and now Goblin has completely walled him out of the fight, but gets sniped in the head. Dominguez Hill is going to pick up 2 away from the fight. As Asu goes down as well, so will a large bagel. Plato on that Doomfist immediately falls over. The grab will come out. Doesn't do much, but Boise State, unfortunately, doesn't look like they have enough to contest. They're going to have to retreat, and Dominguez Hill going to cap the point with 0 seconds left.
So close was that attempt from Boise State to stall out. Operation Desperation stall comp switches over with the Doomfist and the Wrecking Ball, but it does not prove fruitful for them to hold off against this 0-0 checkpoint. But Dominguez Hill is doing a nice job. They did have to use their entire suite of ultimates, but it's kind of worth it. You really can't get another ultimate until you use one, so it's not that worst thing.
Zero has gone over to the Somber. Goblin is going to duplicate onto the Reinhardt. Unfortunately, the door is closed on him. He did get the shatter, lands onto 3 right before the duplicate fades, and Boise State able to pick up 2 from that. They still have Girthquake in the back line, doing his best to dodge. He'll barely survive and end up taking out Goblin, so the Broncos, unfortunately, just get to pull a small retreat from Dominguez Hill.
I love Echo. You can charge nothing, you can flame strike nothing, you get 2 left clicks and you get an ultimate. So cool. And I mean, that's kind of the reason you play Echo, but it's not something that Boise State wants to play anymore. They switched over to McCree. I think they're going to want to try and hard hold this from this point forward.
Critic Flux solo committed there on to Death Hunter. He will get slammed down, but a nice nano from E-Metal is going to heal him up to full and keep him alive. The Gravitic Flux value for Boise State has not been particularly strong so far in the early going. They are going to trade 2 for 2 overall. Guac picking up 2 on the side of Boise State. The minefield has been dropped. 60 seconds remaining. Time not on the Toros' side. And Death Hunter barely surviving. Close to the grab, but not enough to bring it out here. He's going to have to charge quickly with Girthquake taken down on the Tracer now. And Dominguez Hill might be looking for some sort of shatter grab combo in the last fight.
Yeah, and I mean, 40 seconds. We've seen this already so far on this map. Dominguez Hill is getting pushed to their limit. Boise State also getting pushed in the same regard. But look at the ultimate percentage here from Dominguez Hill, and they're more than comfortable using these ultimates in tandem, whereas Boise State is struggling to find a unison with their abilities.
Goblin just about went 0 for 6 there, trying to beam down E-Metal, so he is not going to be able to find that. And once again, so little time on the clock. Dominguez Hill going to cap this one scot-free. Still have a minute and 40 seconds left for this last checkpoint.
Nothing's gonna stop.
Minute and 40 seconds is a very small amount of time, but with the positioning for this particular spawn point fish, it is pretty beneficial for Dominguez Hill until they get right down the middle portion of this hallway coming up after that right turn. Their spawns are equidistant then of Boise State's. A nice pick here from Guac. Will buy some time. Dominguez Hill doesn't seem to be a team that's comfortable engaging by themselves.
Attack are going to come out as well as the rally. 2-man anti lands onto both Bronco tanks. And a 3-man shatter, but the Deadeye is going to pick up 2 for Boise State. Kell gets a 3rd, and the Broncos survive that fight. In a minute left, there's an EMP up for Dominguez Hill.
An EMP is the sole ultimate that stands at the moment. I do think that E-Metal is going to get ultimate relatively quickly, sure. But there is really very little cards for both of these teams to play with. So it's going to come down to maybe getting a pick, getting a nice engage, doing the nice call-outs. It really depends. If Boise State is comfortable with that, picking up a nice 2-piece here on the front side. Is it going to be enough, though?
Guac going to stall it out. That actually might be enough. The huge pick onto 0. We'll see if the Toros have 1 fight left in them. They have the Nano EMP. Boise State just has the minefield. Goblin taken incredibly low. Will get taken out. You see the flank here from Boise State. Plato and Guac both waiting, and there's a 4-man EMP going to land. A large bag will be taken out. Boise State waits for their time to strike. Nano has gone on to Girthquake, of all people, and Boise State trades off 1 for 1 as Plato falls, and now the Broncos here in overtime trying to find the advantage. You see Asu taken low. He will be taken out. Swap over to Moira for E-Metal, trying to blink back in the fight. The flank from Guac's going to come out, but he will get hacked, and the Broncos, losing members, have one last chance here.
Nice fan the hammer, but it misses. He does get it, but he gets stuck in kind. A 1-for-1 trade, and that could be Boise State's nail in the coffin for this. He had popped Deadeye during that as well.
Yeah, Deadeye just to try and reload, take out the Tracer. A large bagel takes down Death Hunter, a 1% away from the grab. Transcendence comes out from a large bagel. Whole hog used by Kel as well. Nice sound barrier there by Seaweed Brain to stabilize Dominguez Hill's health bars. Boise State right now, Girthquake barely going to survive. He will take down Goblin. A rally comes out from Asu. Death Hunter back in the fight, does have the grab. You have to think he's going to throw it as soon as he gets in range. Seaweed Brain taken down. 3-man chatter lands from Mame Shiva. Boise State's only lose one. There's a meteor strike that comes down. Plato can't find anyone. And the grab's going to be enough for Dominguez Hill to take down 2 boy members of Boise State. The stall coming out for the Broncos. They take down 0, but they can't find much more as Kel tries to hang on for the rest of his team. You see Asu and Guac on the way. Minefield is going to be dropped there by Guac. They're going to take down Girthquake. Boise State might be back in this fight. A nice hook onto E-Metal. He'll be taken down as well. Whole hog immediately slammed down by Kel, his second of the fight. Goblin switching over the jetpack, picks up 2, and Boise State with the near hold to remain winnable here on this first map.
Score.
Kel was a animal. Talk about a whole hog. No, he had the whole Honolulu feast. That man just put everyone on his backpack, had the gas, got 2 instances of the full heal off, and despite Dominguez Hill's almost near perfect target acquisition beforehand, they just could not find Roadhog. Boise State clinches out the 2 hold.
We've seen this time and time again of recent where Boise State's opponents somehow overtime it just does something for them and they kick it into this extra gear, not only capping the first point but making incredible distance there on that 3rd point as well in overtime. But Boise State, it's winnable here without going to overtime for them. They just needed basically 3 caps, so their work is cut out for them. As we see the members of the Boise State Blue Squad at the bottom of your screen there, Goblin, Plato, Kel, Guac, a large bagel, and Asu setting up here with what we think is going to be the new meta comp coming off the patch just about a week ago.
Yeah, we are missing 1 here, and that's okay. There we go. Bada bing, bada boom, you asked for it. There it is, everybody. It's going to be interesting. We talked about it before we saw these 2 teams face off, how Dominguez Hill is a team and an organization that demands respect. They near get the 3 hold, and it's because of the target acquisition, the call-outs, and just the unity, the synergy that they were able to demonstrate with their abilities. Boise State really has their work cut out for them in order to get the 3 cap today.
How much value Girthquake can get on that Widowmaker. He was pretty insane early on before he swapped over the Tracer, where he also got a ton of value, so that's someone to watch out for Dominguez Hill. They have pulled out the Soldier as well, but Goblin's going to strike first. He will get a pick on to Girthquake. We'll see how Dominguez Hill, how the Toros can hold up. They're still holding roof of the gas station here, and now the Broncos going to try and flank around. Goblin will be taken out, so it's a DPS for a DPS in the long run, and Girthquake immediately swapped over the Tracer to try and get back in the fight. E-Metal already has the Nano. Boise State has taken Mame Shiva low. There is the Nano going to land onto 0. No tac visor available quite yet. We'll see if he can get it in soon fashion. And Boise State right now just holding out in the middle of the gas station there. Copy's going to be used there by Plato, duplicating onto the Roadhog. Immediately has the whole hog. We'll see if he pops it. There it is. He'll pick up 1. Can he find another? No. Duplicate will be taken out. And Boise State once again has to trade 1 for 1. Seaweed Brain now taken out. The Broncos going to try and halt E-Metal. Perfect job there. Plato finishes it off. And the Broncos in a very long extended fight have taken down a majority of Dominguez Hill. Tac visor comes out with the shield. Shut down that Soldier, and the Broncos cap. 5 minutes on the clock. A very, very polar opposite of what Dominguez Hill did.
Dominguez Hill demanded Boise State to step up their call-out game, to step up and get the target acquisition they needed to, and Boise State delivers. They get almost a near unstoppable first checkpoint, and they're sitting very comfortable on these 2 major tank ultimates.
Plato's incredibly close to another duplicate. They do have Coalescence up for Seaweed Brain. It's not enough to save 0. He immediately gets taken out. The Broncos trying to find Girthquake in on the back line. Once again, there's still a Nano up for E-Metal if he wants to land on someone. Can't Nano when you're dead as the Broncos get 2 more. And Boise State should be able to make it around this corner rather comfortably here, holding on to the Gravitic Flux for now. Rally comes out from Asu, and that's going to be enough for Boise State to run down the remaining members of Toros. There we go, bang, bang, bang.
They are relentless here. They've picked up speed, picked up momentum, and they are just walking this payload in with, well, not anymore. They've stepped off. That's definitely not the right call, but it is what it is. They're doing it with such style and finesse, using one ultimate for a fight, and Dominguez Hills not responding with their own ultimates could be to their detriment.
Superchargers committed by Guam and Mamshiba. We see the duplicate has been used by Plato. There's the Gravitic Flux. Doesn't look like he's going to find anyone, and Superchargers have been taken out. Asu picked up Mamshiba as well. Coalescence from Seaweed Rain used. Now there's Kel's Gravitic Flux. 2 is the magic number for Boise State. As the second one gets a kill, they'll cap the second point and run down the remaining members of Dominguez Hills. 4 minutes and 49 seconds for the Broncos to reach the parking space and go up 1 map here.
They just need to continue this momentum as they are continuing to push the payload. I do like that they are consolidating some people to stay on it to get that maximum speed. You do only need 3 to get the maximum speed possible, so it's important for them to do so. They do have 4 minutes and 30 seconds roughly to get this across the finish line. And it's going to take everything for Dominguez Hill to stop it, but you can't stop that Jedi. That's the second twofer that he's gotten this game. And he's going to continue to show, despite your chagrin, that the green's not so bad sometimes.
2 shields. I'm not sure how Dominguez Hill could not find a way to block that Deadeye. Nice halt. They're going to be used there by Guac, Transcendence, and Rally used by a large Bagel and Asu, and the Broncos looking to wrap this one up rather quickly. They're going to get a 5K here. Seaweed Brain, the only one left in the spawn, but he can't contest. And the Broncos make short work of that, and they'll pick up the first map here in the NECC against Dominguez Hill.
Great play here from the team, and again, they were able to show. Dominguez Hills just said, hey, this is our plan. This is how we work well together. Boise State says, okay, we see this. We recognize that. We respect it. We will also do that, but just a little bit better.
See the members of Boise State there up on the stage, prepping for their NACE playoff matches for both blue and orange coming up later tonight. Fish and Bear Tail here on the Overwatch call. We are right now currently in the final week of the NECC against Dominguez Hill, and it's a great time to remind you that coming up this weekend is the Rocky Mountain Warfare Redux, hosted by the Idaho Army National Guard, broadcast live from the BSU Esports Arena. This is your chance to represent your state in a multi-state Warzone Duos tournament. If you're from Oregon, Montana, Idaho, or South Dakota, this event is for you. It's also a perfect opportunity to ask the Army National Guard about how they can help you get an education in gaming and interactive media. It's coming up very soon, so you want to make sure you get registered. Any of the Idaho Army National Guard social media links there at the bottom of the screen will get you in for this tournament kicking off on November 6th. It is a ton of fun. Cannot wait for the run back. I know we had a ton of people who were excited, who wanted to get in. I know we had some people who maybe thought they should have gone farther, but some connection errors that I can speak to happening to them, and they wanted another chance at it. So I'm extremely excited to see how this event's going to break down here. But right now, I'm extremely excited to see if Boise State Blue can wrap up NECC undefeated as we head into hybrid.
Yeah, they are definitely connecting at all points so far here on this first map. The second one, Numbani, is one that we've seen kind of go both ways for Boise State. Despite the record, historically, this is a map that can cause them trouble. So we'll have to see if the Dominguez Hills team can rally together, despite maybe having a Brigitte. I don't know. I think that's such a weird thing, by the way. Having Brigitte to be such a mainstay for Boise State, despite the rest of the success for other supports. I mean, you have Lucio with Large Bagel. You have Asu playing pretty much anything to an nth degree. I'm really curious to get into the finer details as to why Brigitte's being such a favored pick for Boise State.
Well, she was one of the targets along with McCree in the recent patch. I think getting her HP buffed on top of potentially some other things. I know that they were looking at some different things. So, hey, you just play whatever is buff because usually that stuff is going to be stronger. So that seems to be the case. Of course, McCree getting a reload speed reduction as well. So Boise State just said, hey, let's play the changes. And speaking of that, if they do run out the Baptiste, that is something that also has been recently buffed because Boise State is going to be running on that as well. So we do see Goblin on the Genji there, Plato's on the Echo, and we'll see what Boise State wants to do. Does look like Dominguez Hill has subbed out Mame Sheba, and Fem Warden going to be hopping into them on that Diva.
Defend objective A.
See Boise State once again defending here. We'll see what the Toros want to do, picking the map after dropping that game on Escort there. As we see a nice little flank there by Zero, who's actually swapped over to the tank as well. So some changes across the board for Dominguez Hill. Unfortunately, not going to work for them as Zero is the first target taken out. Immortality Field has been used by Asu there. Fem Warden taken out of the mech will be taken down. Girthquake still on that Widowmaker, still getting value. 2 in the head means it's a trade for Boise State and Dominguez Hill. We'll see if the Broncos can chase him down. They will. And Boise State, despite that Widowmaker play, going to be able to hold on here to that first assault.
I know that oftentimes we talk about momentum not being a thing, but specifically for Widowmaker players, if you get them one, even the 2 headshots, they are going to refuse to swap off that DPS, which can work for Boise State's favor. If they're now able to prepare for the likes of Earthquake, it's not going to be a pick that Dominguez Hill can use successfully. Everything else for that fight went really well for Boise State because Zero had the jump. They were the ones to initiate the fight, and Dominguez Hill, even with that advantage, getting the jump on Boise State, couldn't eke out a single tick on this first A checkpoint.
Zero and going to be taken down again. There goes Seaweed Brain as well, and you have to wonder what the Toro's logic was. Fem Warden being brought in there for Mame Sheep hasn't had the greatest start. Zero on the Wrecking Ball instead of the Soldier, also not off to the best of starts as well. So maybe you have to wait for those players to get used to their new roles before Dominguez Hill can find
guys,
that
come on.
Hey, he's making sure, you know, the fence doesn't keep anyone from Dominguez Hill in the inbound.
It does prevent it from blocking the shot, sure, yeah, I guess.
Once again, Zero gets taken down. He has not had a great start here. Girthquake will fall.
Oh, no!
Push out, and now they haven't quite found it. There they go. Molten Core committed by Goblin. They'll wrap it up there. It's a 5K for Boise State, and Dominguez Hill looking for some swaps potentially.
You want to force a Widowmaker off Widowmaker? You get them to be 1v1'd by Torbjorn mid-air, which is Widowmaker's playground. Immediately switching over to the Bastion, but I don't know if that's the right call because they don't seem to have a comp that would greatly benefit Bastion. Also, attack Bastion's kind of a meme when it's not an escort map.
Yeah, it doesn't even have any of the shields from his tanks to be able to push the payload. They unlock the payload, it might make sense to go back to that pirate ship meta that we saw at the start of the semester. Plato says, you know what, I can do it too. He's going to duplicate on to that Bastion. A pulse bomb from Death Hunter is able to pick up Goblin, and now Plato has the tank form after just 1 kill. He's going to hop in right on top of Girthquake. He'll win that battle with an assist from a large Bagel, who now picked up a second one as well. Immortality Field has been used, as well as the Ant Matrix from Asu. Plato now flanking with the duplicate taken out. Fem Warden will be taken down once again. Seaweed Brain tried to use the coalescence, nothing to gain for it there. Death Hunter taken out as well at Boise State, sending the Toros running back to spot.
Boy, I know why Girthquake picked Bastion. It's for Boise State's benefit, of course.
Apparently, you don't really see someone go from Widowmaker to Bastion. There's not like a whole lot of similarities there. Something like a Hanzo or an Ashe might be more beneficial as it's last chance here for Dominguez Hill. They have a sound barrier and a Diva Bomb, and that is about it. Boise has the Gravitic Flux and the Supercharge. Speaking of that, there's a Supercharge coming out from Glock. A large big will be taken down as E-Metal throw down the sound barrier. Gravitic Flux has been committed to 3-man slam down. And welcome to the slam, Dominguez Hill. They'll lose 2. Guaxon takes them more out of the mech, and Boise State looks like they're going to wrap things up here. They're going to say 2 was too many last time. It's a full 0-0-0 hold for Boise State on New Bonnie.
Yeah, it means that they just need one singular tick. Unless Dominguez Hill has a miracle happen within the next couple seconds, because it is still overtime. Boise State being staggered a little bit. This could be an opportunity for Dominguez. No, unfortunately, Lucian's taken out. Wrecking Ball will do what Wrecking Ball does best, I guess. Doing as much as they can to buy some time, but it's not enough as Boise State clinches it. Round 1 complete, and nothing gained for Dominguez Hill.
Broncos with the full zeros across the board. As you mentioned, they just need one tick, and they will guarantee that they are 8-0 in the regular season. As we said, we'll still have a third map. We'll go to control regardless, as map score is a vital tiebreaker here in the NECC. But you have to think for Boise State, they'll probably make quick work of it here as they're starting to find their groove.
We often personally criticize Bastions for not playing the Lego skin because it's the best one. That could be what brought Dominguez Hill to succumb to the 0 here. But I also want to criticize Boise State for not using the Mantis Shrimp skin here for Echo. They can redeem themselves by using the Lego skin for Bastion, but it's going to be a pretty tall order.
Now, as I've mentioned in the past, a lot of tournaments have different rules, and I know we've seen a Bastion come out and we have sort of, told the player, well, where's the Lego Bastion skin? So I don't remember if it's NACE or NECC, but one of the competitions does ban skins for whatever reason. So if we don't see the Lego Bastion skin come out from Goblin or Death Hunter, I'll attribute it not to the players, but I will attribute it to a skin ban by the competition, which is really sad because Lego Bastion is best Bastion.
It is best Bastion. Boise State pulling up their own Bastion with the Symmetra and the plethora of shields and the Mercy and the Baptiste. This is a dream come true for a BPS Bastion player. This is every piece of the puzzle that you want for this particular hero.
See where they want to teleport. As you can see, Plato was setting up for something. Broncos might not realize that, hey, by the way, they only need to capture one tick. They don't actually need to get the payload going. See, they're going to teleport up onto the high ground. Immortality Field was used. Goblin now going for the flank. Not sure anyone knows he's there. Doesn't look like he has been spotted out. There are a ton of members of Dominguez Hill right around that corner. If Goblin could get there, the Broncos are sort of stalling out, waiting for Bastion to get the flank, just healing through all of the damage. And there you can see Goblin over on the corner taking some damage. He has been jumped on. Now that their attention's divided, the Broncos want to go in. Charge, pin, boom, right into the wall. Boise State picks up 2. Immortality Field from E-Metal. Barely keeps them alive, and there's the flank. Bastion that we, of course, were expecting. Res on to Death Hunter. I don't think they know. They have no idea.
Oh, no.
Boise State picks up the point on screen. And who needs Sombra when you can just flank on Bastion?
I was about to say, what's better than Lego Bastion? Flank Bastion, apparently. Who knew?
So Boise State guaranteeing Blue Squad will finish the NEC regular season at 8-0. They will go to control to see if that they could go 23-1 overall in map score, only dropping one map, I believe, to Midland, who they still ended up winning against. So Boise State Blue putting together, once again, another dominating performance here. Took them a little bit to get going, but this is probably the time you want them to be a little bit slow because they've still got NACE playoff action around the corner.
Yeah, and now that they're kind of warmed up, I don't think that there is going to be a thermometer in Fahrenheit that can handle or measure Boise State so far, unless they run into some sort of super cooling unit. We're going to have to switch to Kelvins pretty quickly here.
Yeah, Boise State Overwatch, blue
Get
and
it?
orange.
Kelvin?
It was a stretch. You tried. I'll be honest. You
it
tried.
Was good.
6 out of 10. 6 out of 10. You've got plenty of time left, though, for your puns, because this, as we mentioned, 3 Overwatch games here tonight. We're going to wrap up NECC against Dominguez Hill on control. The Broncos have already won, but map score important, so we'll play control nonetheless. And then we'll go to the NACE playoffs, where hopefully Barrett's pun game can match Boise State, and both of them can maybe catch a little bit of fire and be a little bit better.
That'll never happen. I could never match the performance from Boise State. That was such a tall ask from you, so thank you for ruining everything.
5, 4,
You know what? You just have. If you believe in yourself, Barrettel, I believe in you. You can get it done. Boise State, they don't want to change anything, even running a similar comp, at least for now. We do see Mame Shiva back in for Dominguez Hill on the tank line. Femmorn in as well. So that means they have subbed out one of their members. And now we see it looks like it was Zero who was subbed out. Nice teleporter there by Goblin. He's up on the high ground, just sniped to the left and right. Kell's going to get the first elimination on the Death Hunter. And we've seen this before from Goblin. He just teleports back and forth depending on where the better angle is. Gonna rip through that shield on Fem Warden. I'm not sure Dominguez Hill really knows where this Bastion is at this moment. The point is unlocked. Boise State does not even seem to care. Now they'll finally drop down, and the Toros have to find some way to break through that line.
Let's be completely honest, Bishop. The only reason we knew exactly where Goblin was because we had his play, his POV. Otherwise, I would have been just as lost as Dominguez Hill.
Just hopping back and forth. Now they're going to try for the flank on Dominguez Hill. Seaweed Rain taking out, as well as Girthquake, who has swapped over to the Reaper. Fem Warden going to get gunned down as well. And the Toros right now have not found a single footing. And they're going to have to retreat back to spawn. And Death Hunter's going to stagger that one out.
Gonna get staggered out. They are gonna switch over to the Reaper, which can be a response to Bastion. It's typically not, and that's okay. When it comes to the side of Dominguez Hill, they might just be saying, well, we can fight as 5, we can fight as 6 with ults, because we're not able to single file into this Bastion. It's not working out very well for us at the moment.
Photon Barrier has been used there by Plato. Doesn't look like the Toro's just going to wait that one out. Now they're going to jump in. Plato dropping low, and Matrix has been dropped by AC. But once again, it's the flank. Bashkin coming out. There he goes, up in the air with the tank form. He picks up one onto E-Metal, trying to heal himself. Can't quite find another one onto Death Hunter, who is incredibly low. Sound Barrier has been committed there by a large bagel to keep the rest of Boise State alive. And Boise State getting those flanks onto Dominguez Hill and getting up to 65% on the control spot.
And it's not looking too hot right now for the side of Dominguez. So they do have the ability to use ultimates on where exactly Bastion is, exactly like that. Ends up picking up 3 actually. Boise State getting a little bit too overzealous, not using their abilities, and they kind of get punished a little bit here from the side of Dominguez Hill, playing it really well, saying as long as we can get to the Bastion, we might be able to eke out an advantage. They actually are going to capture this point for the first time. No, not yet. Boise State with the response. This could be actually really huge for them.
Walk has picked up one there. The shatter from Kel didn't find much. E-Metal does take down Goblin though, and Kel will fall as well. Bunch of sentry to be committed. They're going to be teleported into the fight there by Plato, trying to get a sentry flank on the back line. Photon Barrier has been used, cut the damage in half from Dominguez Hill. They're going to run over, destroy the teleporter and some of the sentries as they're going to be taken out of the next. But a nice death watch in there from Girthquake, and Maeve Shiva and the Baby Demon Port picks up 2. So Boise State gets the point flipped back on them again, but they are at 99%.
99%, but this is familiar territory in the Adverse for Boise State, getting 99%ed in terms of their adversary, and then the full sweep backwards. This could be something that Dominguez Hill is trying to do here.
Goblin decently close to the tank form, sitting at about 75%. Shatter and the Deadeye are up, and Goblin's immediately going to teleport in on the back line, picks up one onto Seaweed Rain. Death Hunter forced to line of sight, mows through that shield, now has the tank form available. Fem Warden will be taken down. Now they're going to jump right on top of the fort. Maeve Shiva taken out of the mech, not even given a chance to survive. Deadeye finds nothing, and Boise State's going to cap the point, and it's up to Seaweed Rain here to try and stall it out in overtime. And I have a feeling Baratelli's not going to make it.
Yeah. Seaweed doesn't move too quick, unfortunately, and that's okay. Dominguez Hill showing signs of life middle of this first round, but Boise State utilizing the all resources on Bastion comp to almost near perfection, gets out that first round win.
I'm going to have to go out on a limb and predict that cubbyhole you see right there as it fades off the screen going to be extremely vital to this next match for Boise State. I'm going to think, oh, never mind.
It's possible.
No, when he was on the
There it
Bastion,
goes.
I thought so, but now he's not. So throw that
They are going
tip right away.
Mega dive with the Reinhardt is actually kind of cool. You have the ability to kind of hunker down until you're ready to say, hey guys, go. And I do like this because not only do they have the Reinhardt for the kind of fortress style gameplay until they pull the trigger, but they also have Ace, the immortality field and that regen burst can be huge for them to reset before they dive, and another backline attempt here.
going out. Earthquake dropping low, just barely surviving there. As he's going to be forced to race for him to safety. He's had more than the first one taken out for Dominguez Hill, but they will strike first blood onto Goblin. We do see an anti-lands on Nickel, but now E-Metal has been taken out. So has Seaweed Rain. Same Sheba barely holding on in the mech. Death Hunter cannot heal up. And Boise State's going to pick up 4. Earthquake makes it 5, and the Broncos going to start with the point once again.
Yeah, again, they pulled Dominguez Hill into a situation where their backline was open. Yes, they did get a pick here on the side of Dominguez Hills, and they thought that there was an advantage for them to go 65. But ultimately, Boise State was completely okay with losing one member there, so they could then initiate with their dive comp.
They've got a flank here. Dragon Strike from Plato going to come out. He'll pick up 1 onto Death Hunter, make it 2 on Seaweed Brain. The Broncos 3 overall. Earthquake barely surviving as he retreats. They want to find out E-Metal as well. Boise State will take down the Reaper, but that will be about it. Never mind, maybe she forgot where the spawn door was.
That, I don't know what to say about that. That was difficult to watch only because if you get motion sickness easily, Plato's not the camera you want to be focusing on.
Yeah, that was a tough one there for me included to be like, I'm like, what is happening? He is bunny hopping all over the place. Shatter gonna land onto 3 from Kel. Boise State now doesn't fall. There it is. Plato's gonna pick up 2 of them. Both supports down for Dominguez Hill. Nice pin there from Kel. He's on fire. Boise State starting to wrap things up here. Sound barrier from a large bagel cane out. See if Dominguez Hill can punish them.
Plato's hungry. He wishes so desperately that that barrier wasn't there. Luckily for Dominguez Hills, it cannot be removed, but they're still faltering within the confines of their spawn, and they only have 25% to figure out a way to break out of their own base.
Last time they broke out at around 90%, ended up flipping the point at 99 as they do get a stun onto Plato and take him down. A large bagel falls as well. Might be a moment of success for Dominguez Hill. They do have to remember though that there is a control point they have to capture as they have taken down 4 members of Boise State. Pulse bomb from Earthquake finds nothing. And much like last map, it looks like Dominguez Hill will flip it at exactly 99%.
I think that this is intentional, this 99 flipperoonie. This is a situation in which you start earning points to be grounded, Boise State. These people have families, and what you're doing is very mean. But a W is a W, so I guess I can't be too upset.
Broncos still have to find a way onto the point, as you mentioned.
Oh yeah,
we've seen Boise
Caster
State.
Curse enable.
Yeah, we've seen Boise State get 99% and then reverse it on the other team. We saw that from Orange last week in the NACE playoffs. We'll see if Dominguez Hill can pull something similar to that off. The Toros do have a plethora of ults available. They're going to have to deal with the Dragon Strike first. And the Dragon Blade hasn't found anything. Nice sound barriers there. We also saw Nano come out onto Fem Warden. Boise State will lose 2 for 1, but Goblin ties it up. The Broncos trying to hold on here, but it looks like they'll be forced to run to spawn, and it's still Dominguez Hill with a huge ult advantage.
I did it. The power of the Caster Curse is very real.
It's not over yet. They're still only 50% of the way there.
50% of the way there, but look at the ultimate economy that Dominguez Hill has. And we've seen so far in this series, they are very comfortable using their abilities in the tandem that they can benefit from. Is it going to be enough, though?
There's a flank from Plato. He's going to get hit by the pulse, but he will survive. Boise State's going to wrap this one up with a team kill for the Broncos, and that is game. Boise State 8-0 in the NECC.
When in doubt, bashing out, I guess. It's a tough day to be a Dominguez Hills fan, but it's a phenomenal day to be a Boise State fan.
Well, this is just the beginning. You don't want to, celebrate too soon, Beartel, because that was just NECC regular season action. We have NACE playoff action around the corner, and I'm not sure that an NECC win wouldn't do much if Boise State gets bounced in the second round, either blue or orange, or both potentially. So don't want to celebrate yet, Beartel. It's not quite a great day to be a Broncos fan. Let's wait until the NACE games are done at least.
Come on. Just give them a little bit. Say, hey, good job. You give them a pat on the back yet, or is it too soon?
No, I mean, let's be honest. You go to, when you were in high school, you didn't celebrate when the JV basketball team won. You celebrated when the varsity
Oh yeah,
team
because
won.
I was on that team.
Exactly. Well, you did. But, you know, that was regular season. That was something that when we get to the NECC playoffs, that will be varsity. That will be for all the money. That one was just a nice warm-up. We got to wait to celebrate until everyone's in the audience, everybody's watching at you. And we're going to have that NACE playoffs coming up very shortly. We do have our player of the game, though, for NECC. And do you have any suggestions, Baratel? I think there's one that's pretty obvious. We'll see if you and I agree.
It's Plato.
Yeah.
Come on.
There's really no other choice. I mean,
His DPI was the highest. He has to win, right?
I think actually, you know, Goblin might be not a bad choice with the flank Bastion.
That's true. That is true. You might be right, actually.
There
You did it.
This was your favorite play. Can't make it
look
to
at
the door.
this.
Two swings, gets a shatter immediately. Nothing came
I
of it.
love that hero. Because how do you play against that? You're like, oh, wow, this Reinhardt's just like running it down. They slammed the wall. They didn't get anything. Flame charge hits nothing. You never expect the shatter to come out.
And he duplicated Dominguez Hill on the Roadhog and hit like one hook and a left click and immediately had the whole hog.
That was probably the most stylish play is, hey, Widowmaker, have you seen the better Widowmaker? The one that has a turret that you can deploy? His name's Torbjorn. You should check him out.
This is my favorite, though, when he does this. Just whoop.
Blink, blink.
Whoop.
Who knew Bastion was the most mobile hero, to be honest?
He did this on Lijiang Tower, actually, and it was just hilarious. The other team literally had no idea where Goblin was. They'd look up to the other teleporter, like, wait, he's not there. Then he'd hop back and just immediately mow him down. So, huge congratulations to Goblin and the rest of Boise State on their win here in NECC, but it is Goblin who's the ICCU player of the game. ICCU believes a great player makes a team more successful. It's like they're helping their members achieve financial success. Goblin, the ICCU player of the game for the Broncos. 3-0 victory here over Dominguez Hill in the NECC to wrap up the season with an 8-0 near perfect record because they are 23-1 in max. So
that's pretty impressive. I don't care who you are.
That is true, but I will say there is a school in there is another school, I believe it's Northeastern, who last I checked is 7-0 with a 21-0 map record. So the Broncos might get the number 2 overall seed due to that one lone lost map. We'll have to see how Northeastern wrapped that up. We are going to take a short break here, but don't go anywhere. Fish and Baratel right around the corner. It is NACE playoff time for Boise State's orange and blue Overwatch teams. It's coming up after this break, and these top 5 plays for the Broncos win over Dominguez Hill in the NECC. Not have included to be like, I'm like, what is happening? He is bunny hopping all over the place. Shatter going to land on the 3 from Kel. Boise State not enough follow. There it is. Plato's going to pick up 2 of them. Both supports down for Dominguez Hill. Nice pin there from Kel. He's on fire. Boise State starting to wrap things up here. Sound barrier from a large bagel case out. See if Dominguez Hill can punish them. Walker going to take down Girthquake. Boise State might be back in this fight. A nice hook onto E-Metal. He'll be taken down as well. Whole Hog immediately slammed down by Kel. His second of the fight. Goblin switching over the jet brake. Picks up 2. And Boise State with the near hold to remain winnable here on this first map. Roadhog immediately has the whole hog. We'll see if he pops it. There it is. He'll pick up 1. Can he find another? No. Duplicate will be taken out. And Boise State once again has to trade 1 for 1. Seaweed Brain now taken out. The Broncos going to try and halt E-Metal. Perfect job there. Plato finishes it off. And the Broncos in a very long extended fight have taken down a majority of the Dominguez. Supercharge, speaking of that, there's a supercharge coming out from Guac. A large big will be taken down as E-Metal throw down the sound barrier. Germanic Flux has been committed to 3-man slam down. And welcome to the slam, Dominguez Hill. They'll lose 2. Guac's going to take them more out of the mech. And Boise State looks like they're going to wrap things up here. They're going to say 2 was too many last time. It's a full 0. In there, you can see Goblin over on the corner taking some damage. He has been jumped on. Now that their attention's divided, the Broncos want to go in. Charge, pin, boom, right into the wall. Boise State picks up.
Growing up in Idaho, we have certain rules we live by. Hold steady when out-of-state friends think you're from Iowa. And always buckle up. Seatbelts save lives. That's a rule we can all live by. Here in Idaho, we do things a little differently. First rule, camouflage never goes out of style. Next, always use fry sauce. I mean, why wouldn't you? Hold steady when out-of-state friends think you're from Iowa. We call it pop, not soda. We always put a lift on our pickups. And we always buckle up because we still have a lot we want to do, and I'm guessing you do too.
Legendary parts for legendary wins.